everybody, and welcome to Gene's Reviews. Reviews from a regular dude, where I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, I react to YouTube videos, and I review YouTube channels. And I do whatever the hell I want. Today I'm doing one from a channel called Edge of Nightfall. And this is story of Robert the Doll. I guess this is the original inspiration for Chucky from Child's Play. Kind of interesting. So let's check this out and see what we think of it right now.
The Chucky doll from the hit 1980s horror classic Child's Play is an iconic character of the horror genre. Millions of moviegoers love the portrayal of this sinister children's toy. However, what most don't know is that this character, as well as parts of his origin story, are based on a real doll with a terrifying legacy of its very own. This doll, who is simply known as Robert the Doll, is said to be possessed by a malicious and vengeful spirit. Don't let his simplistic look deceive you, as his disturbing tale has earned its rank as one of the most twisted.
I did another video about haunted dolls, and they did talk about this doll, Robert the Doll. Looks pretty ragged and pretty wore out. It's an old doll.
Tales of the paranormal. Today we explore Robert the Doll's complete story.
Three bells, 3 a.m.
In the original movie, Chucky is given to a small boy as a gift from his mother. At first, the boy's excited about receiving the toy that he'd always wanted. However, as time goes on, the child soon realizes that this new doll is anything but what he expected, as Chucky reveals himself as a living toy that commits heinous acts at every chance he gets. This concept originated from a doll that was given to a young boy named Robert Eugene Odo in the early 1900s. The doll given was 3 feet tall and dressed in a sailor's outfit, holding a small lion by his side. The boy and his family happily took the doll back to their house, located in Key West, Florida. Eugene was simply referred to by his family as Gene. Because of this, he decided to give the doll his first name, Robert. It wasn't long after having the doll that the two became inseparable. Gene carried Robert wherever he went, treating him as one of the family. He would often talk to Robert as if Robert was an actual person, and even gave him a place at the family dinner table, pretending to feed the doll pieces of his food. For the most part, everything seemed to be normal, as Gene acted towards Robert as most children would to their favorite doll. However, as time went on, things took a bizarre turn, and Gene's new friend quickly became a terrifying household presence.
The turn.
Gene had entire conversations with Robert, and during these conversations, the family heard a strange voice replying to their son. At first, they thought Gene was simply making the voice himself. However, they quickly realized the voice they heard was much deeper and sounded different than anything Gene could possibly create himself. Not long after, Gene started having terrifying experiences with the doll. Robert slept in the same bed as Gene, and on several occasions, Mr. and Mrs. Odo heard Gene screaming bloody murder in the dead of night. Upon entering, they found furniture thrown all over Gene's room. Gene was still in his bed, and Robert was sitting in the corner, eerily glancing at his owner. Shortly after, Gene woke up, claiming Robert was behind it all. This mayhem quickly spread to the rest of the household. The family claimed they saw the doll move around in the house on several occasions, and wherever he was, they could hear a creepy giggle coming from that direction. Even some of the neighbors glancing at the house windows claimed to witness Robert moving inside the home. Eventually, the Otto family had enough and locked Robert in the attic, finally leaving him there for years. This did not stop Robert, however, from resisting his assigned prison, as guests who visited the home claimed to hear footsteps and what sounded like evil laughter in the attic above. Eventually, word got out of these strange happenings, which became the beginning of this home's frightening legacy. In the first Chucky film, Chucky is revealed to have been created with the power of voodoo. While some critics claim this to be lazy storytelling or a somewhat cheap explanation of his origin, this actually comes directly from Robert's story. The Otto family owned a plantation and had many servants who worked on the property. Jean's mother, Mrs. Otto, was said to have been extremely cruel to the servants. One day, she caught the servants practicing black magic and quickly fired them. As a form of revenge, one of the servants gave Jean the gift of Robert after using voodoo to possess it with an evil spirit.
Fired them? Was she actually even paying them, or was she using them as slaves? Either way, sounds like a real bitch.
As Jean grew older, his odd fixation with his childhood doll never truly went away. The father, Mr. Otto, eventually passed away, and Jean inherited the family home, where he settled down with his wife Anne.
That looks like a really
During this
cool
time,
house, though.
Jean became a well-known artist in the Key West area. Despite his terrifying experiences, Jean couldn't help but reunite with Robert, returning to his old obsession, something his wife would grow to hate. Robert frightened Anne to the core, and she couldn't stand being in the doll's sinister presence. Despite this, Jean continued with his obsession. At night, he would place Robert in a chair in the couple's bedroom while they slept, and even painted in the upstairs turret room with Robert at his side. This obsession created great conflict between Jean and his wife, and just like during Jean's childhood, neighbors would claim they saw Robert moving in the home. As time went on, Jean started acting strange and would often have random, uncontrollable mood swings. These mood swings ranged from insane rage to complete illogical behavior, then back to his normal self. This took a toll on Anne, as Jean was physically abusive during these bizarre episodes. When he would return to his normal state, he wouldn't even remember what happened, and blamed Robert for the episodes. Jean passed away in 1974, and his wife shortly after. Soon, new residents entered the haunted home, and the dreadful process started all over again. One of the members of the new family was a small 10-year-old girl who found Robert in the attic and took a liking.
Okay, this doesn't make any sense. That little girl looks like she's from the early 20th century. He died in 1974. It's not making sense.
And her family. Eventually, Robert was then given to the nearby Fort East Martello Museum, where he remains to this day. He is kept in a glass box in the basement of the building, where he is frequently visited by skeptics and believers alike. It is said that he doesn't like it when people take pictures of him without asking his permission first. It is also said that people who disregard this rule soon suffer from near-fatal car accidents, as well as many other kinds of severe misfortunes. Around Robert's glass box are apology letters from the numerous people who have knowingly crossed his boundaries and suffered the consequences. Some people even leave offerings to Robert in the hopes that he will forgive them of their transgressions. As the years have gone by, Robert's fame has grown to the point where he is known throughout the internet. He even has a presence on social media, who his caretaker runs on his behalf. Upon visiting Robert, some people claim they feel a strong, dark presence.
Send him a friend request.
And some even claim to feel a change of expression when looking directly at his face. Robert is now over 110 years old and is a main attraction in the city of Key West. Whether or not Robert is possessed by a real living being is up for debate. Many people believe this story to be fake, while others claim it to be legitimate. Those who have seen Robert up close claim he can move within the glass box, and some even claim he can move out of the glass entirely during the night. While Robert's existence can be debated, there's no denying the impact he's made on the paranormal community. And though he might still be sitting in that glass box, his presence has slowly creeped its way into the minds of millions. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this,
one question I have is, they said that he doesn't want his picture taken or filmed unless you ask permission. Is he going to answer you? How do you know if he says no? I don't know. Just a thought. That was from Edge of Nightfall. Robert the Doll, true story, the original inspiration for Chucky. Come out and play. Thanks, everybody. Now, how about a joke? Did you know that Shaft's great-grandfather was a pirate? It was his duty to find that booty. Arg! Thank you, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, hashtag Mean Gene. All that fun stuff. And I will see you next time.